G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is an AS VAL. Now, I love the AS VAL. The first time I saw it was, I think I was playing Battlefield 3. It's like the third or fourth mission in. You play as a guy called Dima in Paris, and you get this thing, and you shoot it. It's got this massively high rate of fire, integrated suppressor. It's all sneaky and quiet. It's pretty awesome, and I'm glad to be able to use this thing in Fallout 4 for yet another time, because it's not the first ASVAL I've used. There's been a couple of other mods, but this one comes from the Combined Arms Weapon mod, which is the same one that gave us the Barrett M82 50 cal AMR that we saw the other day. So this one got a lot of customization to it as well. The integrated suppressor here actually can be taken off, so you can hear this thing loud and proud. There's a couple of really cursed modifications for this as well, so maybe we'll make a cursed one to see how that goes. We'll try to keep this on the same national thing, so we won't try to put any American sites on it, because that's just heresy, right? Anyways, so what we got for the receivers is just a standard one here. You can have some more bits and everything. It's basically what you'd get out of the standard receivers in the game, except instead of light frame receiver, you get field strip, so it's a lot lighter but does less damage. So it's a little bit more, I guess it just makes more sense going through these upgrades. But what you want to do is higher quality parts here. Although the assault mechanism to increase the fire rate would be significantly powerful if you want to just use it in a stealth commando playstyle, because your DPS would just be so much higher. But I prefer damage per shot here overall, and although we are missing out on a bunch of rate of fire, 301 damage, obviously boosted by all the perks, and also Ace Operator is heaps. And this thing fires quite fast enough, and the recoil sort of makes it kind of in the sweet spot where it's a little bit higher, but it could be worse. So what we've got right now is a standard 7.9 inch barrel. You can have that one with a foregrip, which I'm really tempted to put on, because the first thing I want to do with these weapons is I want to use them like I used them in Battlefield. Now, this one reappeared in Battlefield 4. I think it was part of the second Assault DLC, but you could put foregrips on it, and it was unreal. But you can extend the barrel out a little bit, and you can actually remove the integrated suppressor, so you can hear this thing loud and proud. Although it looks like that, and you're going to lose a bunch of range and accuracy doing that, just like you would in real life. There's no real barrel to burn up the cartridges and all of the gunpowder inside, so you end up getting a big muzzle flash and sort of bullets going in any which direction. You can also chuck on this gigantic 11.4 inch barrel on it, which is pretty massive, so we'll save that for our sniper variant of this thing, I guess. But what we should probably do is just chuck on the 8-inch one with a combat suppressor and foregrip. As you can tell, we get slightly better stats out of this for not that much weight, for actually less weight somehow. But we can stay quiet with that, so I guess we'll move on from that. Now you can chuck on a lightweight stock, folding stock if you want. It looks more like what you'd find on a earlier AK. You can have the stock completely removed, but you know the recoil is going to be super high. Have a skeletal stock, which looks like an AK-74U stock, and then you can put a modern stock on it, which is from an AR-15, which is heresy. It's cursed. Don't do that. But you can chuck on some of these cool-ass sniper stocks. That's an M16 one. That's also heresy. Don't do that. But yeah, looking like a Dragunov. I think it's like a VSS version of this thing. I think they're similar weapons, but that's kind of cool. But what I want to do is probably leave the standard factory issue stock, because I like the look of it. We're going through aesthetics here. Also, in the magazines, you can go 10, which will change your weapon to be semi-automatic, so we want to use that for our sniper one. You can upgrade the magazine size to 30 from the standard 20, and if you want to make something cursed, you can slap a drum on the bottom of that. No. I also like how it requires Idiot Savant to do that. That's a nice touch. Let's not do anything too stupid. Let's just chuck the 30 round one in there. And we've got the iron sight set up for the suppressor barrel only. That actually only works for the standard barrel. So what you want to do with this one, and if you want to use actual sights, is just chuck on anything you like, really. I recommend the PKAS or the Cobra, because those things are in the Battlefield games. This one's got a little chevron there. Do you see that? So that's cool. We'll put the PKAS on that. Legendary effect is there if you need it, and you've got a sticker on the side if you want. Nice little aesthetic bonuses there. Actually, it's kind of blocked out by the sight housing. That's a shame, right? Maybe if you want to see more of that, use the iron sights. And you can attach a flashlight or a heavy laser sight to the side of this thing. If you're using the standard barrel, it has a small tactical rail there-ish, where the foregrip is more back here, so you can stick it on the bottom if you want, but you don't lose any functionality if you want to use a different size barrel, just the slightly longer barrel here. You've also got a bipod here, which seems kind of silly, but it's actually very helpful because it helps you control the recoil. And this thing's got quite a lot of recoil. I'll show this off in a second. We'll leave this with the just the standard green laser sight there. And then we'll go over to the ammo. So you can have armor piercing, which is good. I think by design, these cartridges are really good at piercing through armor because they're like 9mm, which is going to put a lot of force on a very small point, and the 39 is just going to add some major weight to the round. I think these rounds are special. I can't remember how. I need to watch a Gun Jesus video on it to understand what they're doing with that. Frangible wounding is good, but it does penalize you with range, and for a suppressed weapon, probably not the best. I actually tend to like the high grain rounds the best because it increases the weight, which is easy to deal with if you've got a higher strength character or just not carrying around a bunch of weapons, but it gives you a nice healthy gain of rounds there. You can also use the Subsonics, which will increase your damage but reduce your range because the bullets, they don't go as quick and they do more damage when they're passing through. Duplex sounds alright on paper, but you don't want to split your damage up between two projectiles. Same thing with Snake Shot. You're going to be losing out on quite a lot of damage, especially if you are using these on high difficulty. High pressure is kind of cool. It'll increase the fire rate and the range, which could be useful for just belting as many bullets out as possible, as fast as possible. So that's good. High penetration is also kind of nice, but you do lose out on slightly bits of damage. Also, you can just use the penetrator perk in VATS anyway, so I don't really see much of the use of that. We've also got Incendiary, which adds a bunch of unresistible damage there because that's the Skyrim flame damage, which nothing is programmed in this game to resist, so that's nice. The supersonic ones will increase the range by a bunch, but reduce your damage slightly, or rather, they don't reduce your damage, they just increase the range. But as you can tell, although these sound like they don't have many drawbacks, you actually need a lot of these higher level perks to actually utilize these, so that's the trade-off there. So if you invest your weapons, well, they're going to treat you well. I like this mentality. This is a very good mentality. Ooh, shiny. Alright, I've also got high explosive rounds, which just adds explosive bullets, as you would find out of the legendary effect. Alright, let's talk about recoil for a second, because I do want to point this out. This thing kicks like a mule. Yeah, look at that. So what you want to do when you're firing this thing is either microburst it, like you would back in Battlefield 3, or just like sort of pull down on your mouse, or perhaps stick if you're using this thing on console. So yeah, that's how you do it. Sorry, I've been watching some Battlefield videos. Also, there's a naked dude here. Get out of here. Deleted. Okay, this is a VSS now because I put a big-ass barrel and a big-ass stock on it. But more importantly, I made this. It's horrible. And just as a reminder, if you want to craft the ammo, make sure you grab the 9x39 SP5s. They're the one you want to get. And if you want to make them for free, that's totally possible. You get 50 a pop. Okay, so here we are outside of Immersive Gunners Plaza. Normally, I don't record these during the night because sometimes people at home can't see. So I'll probably turn up the brightness a little bit later just so you can see it properly. But this is the VAL in first person. You got some sprinting animations, pretty good. Recoil is off the charts. We've seen the reload animation. We may view it in third person now. Hey, they're slightly different, and depending on what you look at. Also, this one is just a different ASL with the standard barrel, but with the high cycling receiver, so it's got a bunch of rate of fire, a lot of rate of fire, so much rate of fire that I'll be microbursting the crap out of it. This is the VSS. It's got the PSO 4x scope, so we can zoom right in here and see these gunners, except it's foggy, so we can't. And here's my abomination. It's got an American sight, an unsuppressed barrel, a drum magazine, and an American stock. Awesome explosive. It's a real mess of a thing, but we'll only use that in I guess, dire situations, and we'll make sure we got to reload these as we go along. And you know what? We'll start off with the VSS, because it's got SS in it. It reminds me of my car. We'll snipe them. Look at them all scattering to cover. There we go. One down. Another one down. Another one down. There we go. We're making short work out of these gunners. And might back off a little bit because they'll get close. You'll note that the kill feed here actually shows a VSS right there. So, yeah. So there must have been, I think, two, and I think he's the, is it a she? They're the individual that made the kill tips mod, which allows the things to be seen there. So I think they're mates with whoever put together this mod, or the group of people, and they all work together to add different things. And there's TKS Mantis making an appearance. No one asked him, but here he is, messing up my stealth. And you'll note that despite this thing being semi-auto, it's fast. It's real fast, which means the DPS is probably even higher. Look at that gunner hopping off the back of the truck there. Sorry, back of the ute. Get down from there, you bloody clown. And yeah, this is why we did things at night, because we can just snipe them, and we're being all stealthy and Spetsnazy, and I haven't even brought out an automatic one yet. So if we're using this during the day, I think we probably would have been found by now. I'm standing right next to you, mate. How can you not see me? I know we've got dark colored skin, but that shouldn't really affect it. Anyways, we'll quickly reload the VSS, and then we'll bring out different ones. This is just the one that you saw me make before, and oh boy, the recoil. On second thoughts, the PKAS is kind of obstructive of your view, so that's unfortunate, but we'll keep running anyway. I think hip firing this thing is the way to go, because you can just see a lot more, and if you've got steady aim, which is the hip fire perk, to give you more accurate hip fire, it seems to be a lot better, and no use hiding now, I don't think. So things are going pretty well. I think the VSS and the VAL themselves are extremely powerful weapons, and they might be, honestly, the pick there. I did rather enjoy the M82 quite a lot, and its subsequent different models, but none of them really had this kind of DPS, and I'm not sure whether this is supposed to be like that, or whether the modders sort of figured that Ace Operator was going to be in the equation here, but this thing just hits so hard and it hits so fast that it just cuts everything down, especially when you're stealth command doing, and here we go. We're about to give him a big old surprise. Okay, maybe if I turn my light off. That may have given me away. Let's use the super high rate of fire one. Yeah, we're going to shred these guys in no time at all. It's good stuff. Very much liking this so far. Because normally, I'm playing on very hard difficulty. I gotta wrestle sort of the weapons and the bullet sponginess. But this thing is outperforming a lot of what weapons have. Have you got one too, mate? You've got to be on the lookout. Yep, you've got one. Nice. Cool VAL club. And we're slipping out of danger right now, so if we can get a couple of cheeky sneak tricks here. I think the sights are slightly misaligned here. The recoil fixes that pretty quickly, so not really that much of a problem. Bit of a rainstorm going on, don't worry about that. That actually makes us more stealthy because it reduces enemy perception, which probably helped us even more. Also, we're at the part of the map where there's swamps, and the game usually likes to put rainstorms here. I could get mods to alter, so I'm always clear, but generally if you are playing this game, you haven't got those mods for yourself. We just got shot by an MG42. That's a load of bullshit, need to disable that mod, but, you know, I feel like we did pretty well there. Okay, I do want to quickly run the inside here because I think this thing would crush everything. Plus, we haven't seen this thing much in VATS yet, so why not get started with a little bit of VATS? That's really good accuracy. Nice one. We got cock-blocked by some of the hitboxes there, but that's okay. Add some criticals next so we can get some cinematic shots of Vicky tearing everything in her path. And this thing seems even more silent than, like, standard suppressed weapons. Maybe that's one of the changes they made. But we've got a bit of gun feel action happening here in a second. We'll have a crit on the last shot. But all these will be kill shots. Okay, that's not really what I wanted to see. Right, this one will be good. not really. The camera doesn't really seem to do very well if you're aiming down at a target. I remember I recorded a video, and this goes back ages. This is like ancient by my standards, but I was playing on my PS4, just doing a big gun fu streak against the ghouls at the at the graveyard where you find one of the turret changing things, one of the holotapes which allows you to control and manipulate turrets. Well, that was a thing, and like he was aiming down and just kept zooming into my character's chest as it was doing that. It was like really unsubtle. There we go. Finally found the commander. Got a bit of gun fu action happening here. Very efficient on AP. We are using a reflex sight though, so that definitely would help us out. And what else we got? We might be spotted because we're currently being shot at, so I think the jig's up, but that's okay. Oh yeah, we're making mincemeat of these gunners. And we'll just see what the rate of fire is like. Like, I'm deafening myself with these hit marker sounds. Crushing them. This is exactly what it was like using the ASL back in the Battlefield 3 mission. Like, even on the higher difficulties. I think I played it on normal. But you could kill stuff very quickly. It had a very high rate of fire. Was it 900 or 950? It was one or the other. But it was very high. It was up with the FAMAS. That was like king of rate of fire back in the day. They gave it at 1,000 rate of fire, and it was so good everyone was using it, so they had to nerf the magazine capacity and made the recoil so bad. But yes, reminiscing about Battlefields. Maybe it's high time I go back to the Battlefield, because I've been doing a little bit of I've just been watching the next Battlefield coming out closely, and I'm thinking that, I don't know, maybe it's something that I'd like to play in. If I could move away from certain other games on the channel and maybe do something there, maybe that might be good for me. Okay, so here we are outside of where Swan is. You'll note it's during the day, so I'll quickly cycle through the different ASVLs and things to show you what they look like. Also, I should mention that it is compatible with the classic holstered weapon system, which, you know, I shouldn't be too surprised of, because it's designed to be used with anything with the right keywords, but it looks good as an apparel item as well, so that's great. And if you see me, okay, you didn't figure, hang on a second. Oh, it's a Brotherhood. No, you need to go away. If anyone asks, the Raiders did it. Alright, she's going down. Yeah, they didn't know it was me, did they? Normally I don't like doing this, but blame it on the disciples, they did it. What I want to do is take Swan out with using sneak criticals, but if they're there aggroing him, I cannot be awarded them, so there we go. We'll get started here, and we should crush this guy in like 2 seconds. Oh yeah. And he gets knocked down from sniper, so that's even better, allows us to scoot back further, and the ragdoll continues there. With the amount of bullets you can get out of this thing, and the sniper chances, yeah, this is massive. This is huge. This thing is destroying him. It's ripping everything into our arsehole. Even this feral ghoul who showed up unannounced. There we go. And if we get some headshots here, we'll... Alright, we're on now. I think it's time to switch to something else. We're going to get nice and close for this thing to work. Although, he's a big-ass target, so maybe we won't have to. But let's get some VAT shots on him and we'll finish him off a little bit like that. Nice. We'll get some criticals here at the end. It's unfortunate that the foregrip animations don't work, but they're a lot of work to do, so I don't mind. I can live without that. And Swan's reincarnation goes down very, very quickly indeed. If you are irritated by the hit marker sounds, let me know. They're obnoxious sometimes, so yeah, just let me know. I'll just turn them off forevermore. Anyways, let's move on to something else. Alright, same thing again, but with bears, and this time we'll try to use something a little bit more... We'll try to play a little bit more aggressively. But if we can do this without being swarmed by a pack of angry bears, then that's fine by me. Try to use these cars for our advantage, eh? Try to keep them off. Try to clear out the small ones. Never mind. It's on for young and old here. And honestly, we could just keep the VSS in our back pocket here, just to give us some time to run away. Okay, I got sick of the hit marker noise, so I turned it off. But we're gonna get some cool Battlefield 1 kill noises when we finally kill the beast. So this thing, with its gigantic magazine and its explosive bullets, can hold the DPS for a significant amount of time. And what are you doing, mate? Get out of here. But in raw damage per shot, I'd still think that the sand ones here are doing better with just the suppressor and everything. And you are standing a little bit too close, friend. What's wrong with you? Personal space. Can add some criticals in there. Feebly shoot this guy with some criticals as he's coming in for bites, which you blatantly missed, but are probably going to hit anyway. That's a big bear. Look out, he'll get ya. Just standing there. Well, you can see right into his eyes, and he just slapped me across the face. He's called in reinforcements. We'll jump down here. And... oh. Wait, what? Oh, he followed me down, the bastard. But luckily for me, I went in a nerd rage, and I'm going to tactically switch guns so it kills him and actually brings us up to the next level. So before his reinforcements could get a flanking maneuver going on, we finish him off just like that. Very nice. And he explodes into little giblets. Too bad he didn't explode when old mate was next to him. It was also, is that an eyeball? Yeah, it's an eyeball. Whose eyeball is that? It's legendary Yao Guai's eyeball. It's kind of creepy. It looks nothing like what they look like when they're inside their noggins, but what can you do, eh? Anyways, let's move on. Okay, the final target for today will be the Lobster Man. He usually tears me a new arsehole every time I try, because he's strong and powerful, but this time we've got a trick up our sleeves. We've got many suppressed rifles. Now, where are you? There you are, you bastard. And a sniper perk, which won't allow him to get up, because if we ragdoll him in water, he'll have severe problems actually moving, because, well, he's bugging out. He might even fall through the map here in a second. Anyways, he goes down. We'll get a couple of bat shots with the, I suppose, with this thing. We'll just find his head, which is there apparently, and get some of these crits back, I guess. There we go. Very nice. So, yeah, with VATs, all of your scope shots, well, technically you're aiming in VATs, so you can still get sniper knockdowns, and it would work with the perks called Hitman's, a legendary Hitman's effect from Far Harbor. And this one's mad. He's a big boy. He's mad, but that's okay because we've got VATs, and we can stagger him as well. And so far, I haven't taken a hit from this guy. And I'm wearing a plate carrier and looking tactical, but this is nowhere near as strong as the standard stuff I've been using across my other characters, which is probably why I got dropped by the MG42 early on. But I think I just need to disable that mod because it gets obnoxious sometimes with enemies doing as much damage as they do, then you roll around and get basically destroyed in like 2 seconds by an MG. I don't think it's very balanced. At the same time, this thing is destroying enemies that fast, but, you know, we were being shot at by a gunner with an AS VAL before, and in comparison, didn't do anywhere near the damage. Whoops, went for a crit there, didn't have any, so I just jumped, coming straight out of VATs. And we've been ducking, weaving, and diving around this guy's spits all bloody fight. He has not hit me once so far. The crazed Myler Hunter bit off his game this time. And we can cover our quick reloads very nicely here by sticking behind cover, just doing a bit of dancing around stuff. And a nice little full backflip for this guy. And an idiot savant proc, we got 6,000 XP out of that. You know what? I feel like we earned that. I think it's a good job all around. So AS VAL from the Combined Arms Weapon Pack, very, very good. Use it. It's good stuff. And if you're looking for an equivalent for vanilla, you can just get, well, not vanilla, but you could get the handmade rifles, but they're just not the same. I quite like this thing, and I would highly recommend you to grab this just for the AS VAL alone, because it's just such a good weapon, so fun to use, and such a cool design thing. I love it. Thank you very much for watching, guys.